What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now on today's episode we have a special gift, and that is LED headlight bulbs and fog light bulbs sent over to us from Auxito. I'm going to show you guys how to install these on my Acura RSX and also do a side-by-side comparison of the old setup versus newer technology LED bulbs. And by the end of the video we'll see if they get a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on installing these Auxito LED headlight bulbs and fog light bulbs on the Acura RSX. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the tools and the materials needed. So first and foremost, I want to go ahead and thank Auxito for supplying the LED lights for this video. So we're going to start off with the fog lights right here. These are H8, H11s, I believe. Yeah, H8, H11. And these basically are the yellow amber color. These are going to go in the fog lights. And then for the headlights, these are H1. So as you can see, the headlights look a lot different than what's going to go in the fog lights. These are a lot more powerful, so I figured this is lower to the ground, so it's not going to blind people as much. And this should be the equivalent of HID bulbs. I don't want to go with the high power on the headlights because I want to see what the light output is. So we're going to take our chance on the lower output model. So thanks again, Auxito, for supplying the LED lights for this video. And then we got the X clips, which basically are required for the RSX. So I'll go ahead and show you the details on that. Alright, so tools required for replacing headlight bulbs on Acura RSX. Surprisingly, we need to go ahead and pull the front bumper off and the headlights. This is not a matter of popping the hood and reaching in and twisting lights out. Very tight tolerances, and I'll go ahead and show you guys. Anyhow, tools required: Phillips head screwdriver, a clip puller if you have one. If not, you can use some flathead screwdrivers, and then a 3/8 ratchet with a 12-inch extension with a 10mm right there. Okay, first things first, on removing the bumper for the RSX is go ahead and pop the hood. And over here, you're going to see a bunch of clips. So you can take your clip puller and remove these clips. You know, there's a clip here, another one here, one, and another one. So remove these clips from the top of the bumper right here. Okay, right here in the fender well, where the bumper meets the fender, you want to go ahead and take your Phillips head screwdriver, insert in the hole right here, and actually feel your way whenever the screwdriver bites. And I believe a 1/4-inch socket might work as well. Well, this is metric, so whatever the 1/4-inch equivalent is. So go ahead and remove that for the driver's side and the passenger side. Okay, looking at the bottom side of the front corner of the bumper, you want to go ahead and remove this Phillips head screw right here. And it looks like this one's already missing. There should be 2 on each side. Let me show you the passenger side. Okay, look at the passenger side at the bottom of the bumper. There's a screw right there, and there's a screw right here. Go ahead and remove those. Okay, and looking at the center part of the bottom of the bumper, I'm underneath the car by the way, you want to go ahead and remove like this plastic clip right here. There's another plastic clip that should be right there, but it's missing. And there's this plastic clip right here, and this plastic clip right here. So go ahead and remove those from the underside of the front area of the bumper. Okay, so once you have the bottom central clips removed, the 2 Phillips head screws on the bottom side of each side, driver's side and passenger side, the plastic clips on the top right there where the hood meets, and also the Phillips head screw on the fender where it meets the bumper. Same thing on the driver's side. We're going to go ahead and pull on each corner, and that bumper should come off. But be careful if you have fog lights. So you want to go ahead and remove those fog lights once the bumper is partially pulled away from the car. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove this bumper. Bear with me. Okay, went ahead and removed all the clips and screws on the bottom side of the bumper, the clips on the top side, and the screws on each corner where it meets the fender. So before I go and remove this bumper, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what the lights look like, both headlights and fog lights in the daytime. So let's go ahead and turn them on, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison once we get the LEDs installed. Okay, so there we have it. Some aftermarket HID headlights and some stock halogen fog lights right there. So we'll go ahead and do some filming in the daytime once we get the LEDs installed. Okay, next step, let's go ahead and remove the front bumper of the Acura RSX. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna peel back on each corner, passenger side and driver's side, away from the fender edge, and then pull it straight back, and then disconnect the fog lights as I'm doing so. Let's go ahead and carefully remove the front bumper. All right, guys, there we have it. Front bumper of the Acura RSX removed, and that's what it looks like. Let me show you the back side of the fog lights. Okay, here's the back side of the passenger fog lights, and there's the driver's side right there. Now, I believe the way to remove these bulbs right here is to turn it counterclockwise. Let's go ahead and try this right now. I'm gonna turn counterclockwise. And there we have it. Stock halogen fog lamp bulb right there. Basically turn this thing counterclockwise and pull it straight out. Let's go ahead and repeat the same process on the driver's side. Driver's side fog light removed. And before we go ahead and install the Auxito LED bulb in the fog light housing, here's a little side-by-side comparison. As you can see, the LED is a lot more robust, and there's actually a cooling plate right there. So I presume this thing actually runs hotter. Okay, let's go ahead, take the LED bulb, put it in the housing, and turn it clockwise. And there we have it, driver's side and passenger side Auxito LED bulbs installed in the fog lights. Okay, now the headlights are a little bit more complex than the fog lights to replace. Basically, I had to remove the front bumper in order to get access to the bulbs inside these housings. And as you can see right here in the engine bay, it is very tight tolerances, especially right here on the battery side. I mean, you really can't reach your hand back there, do some untwisting and pull the bulbs out. Okay, so there's 3 10mm bolts you need to remove from the headlights. This one on the top right here, this one on the side right here, and there's one 10mm that's hidden, real hard to see. So right here on the front corner, you got this piece of metal, a little U shape. So you're gonna take your 12mm extension with a 10mm and reach way back there and take that 10mm bolt back there off. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the driver's side. So let's go ahead, remove the headlights. All right, guys, headlights are officially removed from the Acura RSX. Now, as you can see right here, there's just a cluster mess of wires. And this is basically for ballast, relays and whatnot when you have aftermarket HIDs, and I just can't stand this. So with LEDs, I believe it just eliminates all this mess. And it even has to connect to the positive side of your battery, so we're gonna eliminate all these wires right here, hopefully. Now, I believe there's 4 connections because there's a relay for each headlight. And at one point, I actually had HIDs on the fog lights. So we're gonna take all this unnecessary wiring off, go back to stock form, because I believe that the factory connectors just connect straight to the LED bulbs because it's low voltage. So this right here is your high beam right here. And I believe this taped up wire right here wanted to hold a connection. I'm gonna take this tape off. I'm actually gonna plug the LED bulb straight in here to see if it works. And if it works, all this wiring's coming off. So let me go ahead and try that out. Okay guys, got some bad news right here. So this is the factory connector for the low beam headlight. I actually tried the LED bulb in both connectors. It doesn't light up, so I guess they sent me the wrong bulbs because usually there's 2 prongs on this one. So this halogen bulb is the factory bulb for the RSX. As you can see, there's 2 prongs on the back side. And these LED bulbs that were sent to me only have 1 prong. Let me pull it out. Yeah, you see there's only 1 prong on this thing right here. So I don't know why that is, but anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and send these back and hopefully we can get the right ones. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead, remove all that wiring, relays and whatnot, and we're just gonna put it back to stock form with these OEM halogen bulbs right here. Now I did test the yellow fog lamp bulbs and these things light up beautifully, so that's a good thing. So the fog lights work, I know that. These are actually 2 prong, so that's a good thing. But for whatever reason, the headlights are just not working. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the unnecessary wiring, such as the relays and whatnot, HIDs, and just go back to stock form and wait until we can get the right LED headlight bulbs for the low beams. But we'll have some nice fog lights in the interim, so all right, to be continued here. All right, let's take a closer look at these LED bulbs. Now, as you can see, here's the new H1 bulbs that they sent me. The other ones just had a single prong. These have a double prong because my headlight harnesses have a double prong. Anyways, as you can see, it's not allowing me to put my headlight harness in there because it's big. As you can see, there's a very small opening right there. So they did include these wires right here, which terminated to a single point. I just went ahead and cut it off. And then this is from my old HID setup. So I went ahead and cut these connectors off. Luckily I have these connectors still. But anyhow, what I need to do is go ahead and solder, the red wire, onto the red wire right there, and the black wire onto the black wire right there. And I'll make it nice and neat with some shrink tubing and whatnot. So I'll be able to plug this into the headlight harness on the vehicle. And then these connectors right here will plug in to the back of the LED bulb. So this is the best solution I can come up with since they actually recessed these connectors. If these connectors, was like sticking out of this base right here, it'd been fine, but it's not because the RSX headlight harness has like a little plus symbol. So it might actually go this way, but there's actually a plus that goes up and then back down. And I'm pretty sure it will not allow me to plug this in. So that's basically why I need to make a special harness. So let's go ahead and get soldering here. Okay, here's our H1 LED headlight bulb. Now as you can see, there's a collar on this. So what we have to do is pull the collar away from the base. I'm gonna try to do this best I can with one hand. And there's 2 seals on there. There it is. All right, so this thing comes off, so it's your little collar. And there's 2 little pins right there on the back side. So what you wanna do is you wanna face this inside the headlight opening, just like so. And the 2 nubs are right there. And so here's your little X clip right here. As you can see, the factory halogens have the X clip, so it's a very important detail to have on these lights. So this X clip that's available from Auxito, as you can see, there's one side with nubs that stick up, there's a smooth side. So you want to stick the nubs facing down onto the collar right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on there just like so. And then you're gonna go ahead and take your wire, clamp this in position, and then push that down. That's in there pretty good. Got the collar, it's all clamped down. And then what I'm gonna do here for my harness that I made, I'm gonna go ahead and slide it through the rubber boot. And then once we have it slid through the rubber boot, I'll be able to then take this LED bulb and basically just push it right in. But I'm gonna do that right before I bolt the headlights to the chassis of the car. So let me go ahead and run the wire through this boot right here. And then we'll go ahead and get ready to put this thing on the car. Okay, so here's our H1 LED headlight bulb with my custom made harness, so I can plug it in to my factory RSX harness right over here. So I'm gonna go ahead, plug this harness in to the OEM headlight harness and turn the headlight switch on and see if this thing fires up before we go ahead and mount it into the headlight assembly. So let's go ahead and see if this thing actually works. Alright, there it is, folks. H1 LED headlight bulb from Auxito is functioning correctly. Now we can go ahead, unplug this thing and mount this thing in the headlight housing and reinstall the headlight housing onto the core support. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Alrighty guys, got all the HID and associated wiring out of the RSX. I mean, just look at this wiring mess. Relays and ballasts and of course HID bulbs, but it's just amazing of what wiring is required in order to run HIDs in a car in order to protect the electrical system. But it is what it is, and I'm glad that the LED lights are basically just plug and play. Now, if you guys are running HID lights and you got a mess of relays, ballasts, and all kinds of electrical wires behind your bumper, highly recommend just go ahead and replace it with some simple plug and play LED bulbs. It'll make your life a lot easier. Alrighty guys, the Auxito H1 LED headlights are officially installed in the RSX, and there we go. What do you guys think? I know it's sundown right now. It's not quite dark yet, but I can't wait to drive this thing at night. Definitely a big difference even during the daytime between the OEM halogen and these Auxito LED headlights. Really happy with these things so far, and there's not as much wires as there is with HID or xenon lights, so that's a big selling point right there. And plus these things are supposed to last a lot longer. But yeah, just I don't know if you can see this on camera, but very good detail on the light output. It's like 6000K color as opposed to like HID. I think 4000K is pure white, 6000 is a very small tinge of blue or purple. And then as you go to like 8 or 10,000K, that's like Smurf blue. So it's the perfect hue right there. But anyways, I'm gonna wait till it gets pitch black outside, go for a night drive, and see how these things light up the night. Just can't wait to see the end result here. Alrighty guys, the moment we've been all waiting for. What's the light output with these new LED bulbs? Let's go ahead and turn the lights on. Okay, there's the headlights. Let me go ahead and turn on the fog lights. And there's the fog light output right there. So it's basically what it looks like from the roof view. Let me go inside the car, show you from the windshield side. And that's what it looks like from the driver's seat perspective. Not too bad. So let's go ahead, step out of the car and take a look at the lights from the outside view. All right, I'm not sure if this GoPro will capture the images correctly here, but here goes. Now, as you can see, I'm in a parking lot with a little bit of street lights, but there we go. LED headlights lit up at nighttime. I mean, that is like a sharp 6000K, Very crisp and clear laser blue. Like that a lot. And best of all, you don't have to deal with that mess of wires that HID is associated with. All right, let's go ahead and turn on the fog lights and see what it looks like. Now, I'm not able to show you just the fog lights themselves lit up because the way that these things are wired up with the OEM fog lights, you have to turn on the headlights before the fog lights can go on. And if you turn the high beams on, it actually turns off the fog lights. But anyways, here we have it. Amber fog lights. These things look great. Give you a little side view right here and go behind the car, go beside it. But yeah, this thing is lighting up the road pretty well. So in harsh lighting conditions or fog conditions, I guess, these things will light up the road pretty well. But what do you guys think? You like these amber fog lights? Or should I went with like the 6000K to match the headlights? But I think it gives a nice accent. I don't know if you guys remember the Lexus ES300 back from like 1996 or 97, where it had those bright yellow fog lights, and all these manufacturers just caught wind of that. I know it was a big trend in the 90s and early 2000s, but you know, some people still do it, but I think it's been proven to have better visibility at night. It doesn't like bounce off the fog and whatnot. So that's why a lot of cars have yellow fog lights. So you think you're gonna pick up some LED headlights and fog lights for your car, truck, or minivan or SUV? Alrighty guys, got the Auxito headlight bulbs and fog light bulbs installed on the Acura RSX, and let me tell you, they light up the night pretty darn good, and they look great as well, with the crisp yellow color on the fogs and laser blue on the headlights. And best of all, there's no crazy wiring required, such as relays or external ballast that HIDs need. So if you're looking for some lighting upgrades for your car, truck, SUV, or minivan, go ahead and check out what Auxito has to offer. These lights definitely get a thumbs up from me. And speaking of thumbs up, if you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.